Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Business Plus. My name is Rachel Kahugu, and this is where we give you ideas to start your business or help you grow in your business to reach the epic and make money, because we say business is more than meets the eye. And today I'm with Liz. She's a student doing accounts, but she decided she'll venture into business, and that is scented candles. And today we'll be talking about how she started making scented candles and how it ended up giving her money, because as you say, business is more than meets the eye. So let's hear about her journey in business so that you can get the idea and know if you want to do this business or grow in the business that you are already doing. So, hello.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Have you been?
I've been good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, introduce yourself and we get into business.
All right. Hi guys. My name is Liz Wanjiko. I am a student at Kabarak. I do scented candles, and I started last year, June 2022. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So how umesema you're doing accounts, right?
Yeah.
At school. How is even accounts and scented candles related? Is it something you got from school or it's something totally different?
Well, naturally, I am a creative. I like using my imagination and exploring what I can get out of that. Like I'm a hands-on person. Anything that requires me to use creativity is where I thrive. So yeah, that is part of
the scented
yeah.
candles business.
Yes.
All right. So what inspired you to start this business?
Well, initially it started more as a project than a business. I remember when I was doing a goal setting session with my coach. Yes.
Okay.
And he was like, what are your goals for 2022? And I told him there's something I would want to try out. This was in January last year. I remember it was 12th January.
Okay.
So at the time, my granddad was suffering from diabetes. And I think seeing him go through the symptoms of diabetes, and you're thinking to yourself, what can be there for him when I'm not?
Yeah.
And my first thought was something like scent. Yeah, so I have always fancied doing scented candles, but have never actually gotten to doing it. So in my mind, at the time I'm thinking, when he lights a candle and I'm not there, it eases his entire being, and you get, yeah. So that's how it started as a project. And then when he got sick and he was in hospital, I told myself, when he gets out of hospital, I'll make him a candle. So that's when I started researching.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you started your research on YouTube, or what did you do? Did you go to school or something?
No. Hey, internet. My
Internet.
God. YouTube, Google, every website that you can find. Yes.
And it doesn't have any charge, so it's free of charge. You guys, kama mnataka kuanza such a thing, remember you can do your research and you'll start making them, sindio?
Yes.
And how many varieties of scents do we have here?
Right now I have 3. Yes.
That is, I can guess this is vanilla, right?
It has a bit of
Or
vanilla.
Irigani?
That is pumpkin spice latte.
Nice.
Yes. So it has cinnamon. It has vanilla. It's a type of coffee. For the coffee lovers, they always get this scent right. I don't know how.
Okay.
Yes. And then now this is just like plain coffee. Yeah. Then I have strawberry and vanilla combined.
Okay.
Then this is lavender.
Lavender.
Yeah.
All right. And now this is where most of the people have a lot of questions. How do you balance just to make sure that it's not oversaturated and the wick is right and everything? It needs a lot of mads. Na watu wengi walipotelea mambo ya mads and everything, because looks like a lot of science and mads in here. Yeah. So how do you make sure that it's not oversaturated?
First of all, research. research, because some of these things you can't just guess and decide, 1:2 and it's gonna work. It might explode on you. So when you research, you get to see the variations that other candle makers are using. Even scientists who, there's something called candle science. Yeah. So when you read and you watch videos, YouTube videos, and all that information in the internet, now you get to try out for yourself. So that means you don't just make candles and sell them. You have to test them out first. And that's why in as much as the idea started in January, I started selling in June. That whole process was research and also sampling. You give them to people like for free and you get their feedback.
For free. And because now you have to do the sampling and give people for free to give you the feedbacks. How much is the capital? How much did you start with?
I started with roughly around 5,000, and it wasn't at a go.
Right.
Yeah. So maybe I would get like a 1K somewhere. I go buy something, and honestly, something that I would tell people is just start where you are. There is no time you'll ever have enough capital. Yes, but when you're able to work with what you have at the moment, because most of these things, there are the appropriate equipment for making candles, but you find me going to a store like Gilani's. I get whatever I can. Like what can I use? You get, so yeah.
So what do I need to, from scratch? Give us the whole process just to make a candle, and what are the right equipment that I need?
Okay. Of course, with a candle, you need wax. That's the first thing.
All right.
Yes. So when it comes to wax, there are a variety of waxes, from paraffin, beeswax, soy wax, coconut. And at this point, you as a candle maker, when you define your niche, it will also determine the type of wax that you work with. Yeah, so for me, it was more natural based, because paraffin is synthetic, so it releases toxins. But I use soy wax and coconut wax. So why I use that specific blend is because there are benefits of soy wax and coconut wax that I want to tap into.
Okay.
Yeah, so you get a vessel that is heat resistant. So most people, there's something called a pitcher. A pitcher is just a metallic jar that's made of aluminum. It's quite thick. That is the right one, but I use this big cup. You see this metallic cups, but not the big one. Yes. Exactly. Yes. So that's what I use currently. And you just...
Which is more reliable, and you'd get it faster.
Yeah. Again, at this point, it's just working with what you have. Yeah. So you measure out your wax. Now, because I use 2 waxes, you also have to determine the ratio of the amount of wax you want to use. So you do your calculation.
This is where math gets in.
So if I have like 2 jars, because I want maybe a candle that is 200 grams each, that means I'll measure out 400 grams of wax combined. Then you pour it into your vessel. You put it in a pot of boiling water. It's called the double boiling method.
Alright, so you don't boil it directly?
No. Yeah, you just put it in a pot of boiling water, and then you leave it there to boil. Yes, just make sure that the water is not like too much. Maybe umejaza sufuria mzima. Yeah, because it will mix with the wax and it might ruin the results of what you want.
Okay.
Yeah, so once you put it in the pot, you leave it to boil. Now, this takes a while for the wax to melt completely. And then there's a catch. Once it is melted, you have to wait for it to reach its melting point. Like, you see, when it's melted, even if it is maybe 40 degrees, you might find that its actual heat point is maybe 50. So you need a thermometer to measure that temperature. Then once it reaches the optimum temperature, you remove it from the pot, but you have to keep on stirring. And then at this point is where you add your scent.
Okay.
Yeah. So based on the amount of wax you use, that's how much scent like you will measure. There's a ratio. You add the scent, combine it, then you see in this jar there's a wick.
Yes.
So that means I already prepared this beforehand. Yeah, I use glue gun to stick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So
That's creative.
yes. So when you've already prepared your glass jar, you pour out your wax. Now at this point I also measure because I don't want it to be too much or too little. Yeah, based on the value you want to give to the customer.
Yeah.
So normally, because there's nothing supporting the wick, you have to put something to suspend the wick from the top.
Okay.
Yeah, like this. So normally I would use maybe a pencil. There's an equipment for that. Like I said, it's called a wick holder. But I just use colored pencil because I have a lot of that.
Okay.
Yeah, so you allow it to cool until it hardens. Again,
How long does that take?
roughly 2 to 3 hours.
Okay.
Yes, for it to harden completely, and then you have to make sure that the top is smooth.
Okay.
Yeah, in case you find that you have some depressions. Yeah, it's usually called a sinkhole. Yeah, because it's like a tunnel at the bottom. I mean, at the center. Yeah. You either warm it up with something, or you warm up the wax that you left over, and then you fill it so that you have a flat top. Yes. Now, once it hardens, that's not where it ends. There's something called curing. Curing, it's like for people who have done mjengo, they know cement, like once you are done with cement, you have to, I don't know, pour water and leave it for like 5 days. It's the same thing with this. It allows it to, like the wax vessels molecules to come together. So you have to leave it for at least 2 days. Personally, I leave mine for a week before you light it.
Okay.
That's how you find that some candles have better scent than others, despite following the same process. Yeah, it.
So if you leave yours for like 2 days, the scent is better than using it immediately.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. That's new.
You know, right? Again, it's a lot of research.
Yeah, a lot of research. All right, so you guys have the process, but we'll be going for a short break so that we can get the business on one. When we come back, we'll be talking about the branding and how you package it to make your clients love it more. Because nikitengeneza vizuri, but I still pack it kimandazi mandazi, you guys won't buy it. The clients won't love it, right? So we'll be getting into the business 101. Also, I'll be telling you about the sponsors of today. Then as we come back, we'll be talking more about branding and the challenges that we go through this path, because it's not a path of roses, India.
Yeah.
All right, see you guys.
Hello guys, I'm here to introduce to you our sponsors of the day, and they are the Nakuru Box, and they have a program that's called the Nakuru Box Academy. This is a program that offers training in digital skills to students and people who want to advance in their careers, and this is what they offer: data analysis, artificial intelligence, and software development. And in partnership with Liquid Intelligence Technologies, we offer courses that meet the international standards. And with this, you can be able to have competence in your businesses and any other thing that you want to do. All right? So you will also learn different coding languages like the Python, JavaScript, and the Java. If you want to get all these, it's under the Nakuru Box Academy. We can also partner with high schools to train the high school students in these important skills that they have to learn. As I've said, it includes the coding languages, data analytics, artificial intelligence, and software development. So contact Nakuru Box Academy today with the contacts that we've given you right here, and you will get to learn all of these, or get people that you know to learn all these. So we get into the business tip.
Hi viewers, these are a few tips that I would like to share in terms of running and even owning a business. And first of all, it is to demystify branding, because most people only limit branding to the logo, the name, the color. Branding is more than that. It's how you present yourself as a person. It's also how you appeal to your customers with all their senses in terms of sight, hearing, smelling, touching, all that. And then secondly, make sure that you're not just telling people about your product, show them your product. What that simply means is it's easier for people to take a gamble with you when they realize that you actually have something going, instead of just telling them that there's something you'd want to create. Make something that they can actually see and feel, and just imagine the journey with you of how the future looks like for your business. And something else, just start with what you have. Be very creative with even the smallest and insignificant of things. You can make something really big. Allow your imagination to go wild. And another thing, always put God first, because this journey of being a business person, it requires way more than your intellect and your creativity and maybe your money and your resources. There's a higher power that even gives you speed, favor, and connections. And yeah, that's it. My name is Liz Wanjiko, founder of Heavenly Glow, which is a scented candles business, and you are watching Business Plus.
You guys, this candle, sutaniachia moja at least. All right, so we are back, and we want to talk about packaging and branding. Why is it important for one to package your products very well?
Let me just give an example. Okay. Maybe in the dating field, in the world of dating, most of the time how somebody presents themselves to you is what will determine whether they will win you over or not. Okay. Right? So even before you get to know them as a person, it's how they approach you.
First impression.
Exactly. So you see, if I just pick something, some random tin over there, and then I put my wax, in as much as I have poured my heart into the wax and the candle, but I put it in something that looks
shaggy.
Yes. And it's not like theme, the way you can have like a naked cake and it's a vibe. Yes, but it's just something, this person did not put any effort. You get, people will not even look at your product twice. So with branding, with packaging, it allows you to be able to get the customer to even look at your product. Right. Yeah, because sometimes when you're passing like a dress shop, if they put the ugliest dresses on display, you will not enter into that store. But you see something like, oh, that looks good, you'll be prompted to go in and ask, like, what's the price, what's the material, and it's the same thing. When I look at this, it's pretty, you get. So I'll be interested, wow, what's this? So I open it and it smells nice, you guys. So I want to know more about this product.
So it's the first impression.
Exactly.
All right, so for you, apart from what we see right now, if you want to, I've bought the candle, right? You wanted to present it to me. How do you package it? Is it just like this, or there's something more?
Oh, no. I put it in a box, and then because it's glass, I have to find something that will prevent it from breaking. Yeah, and then I put in a thank you card. Yeah, thank you for your purchase. Yeah, so that you can enhance the customer experience even with unraveling your product. Yeah.
Wow. So what are some of the challenges that you faced from you started making these candles?
First of all, the most obvious one is capital. Right. Yes. And secondly, I would say ideally, like in terms of ideas, in terms of ideas, you find that before I came up with this, I had to try so many other jars, and you're wondering, what does the market really want? What will portray to the people what my idea is, if you get what I mean. So for me that was a challenge, and also defining my niche and my target market. Yeah, because you're thinking to yourself, oh, anyone can buy candles, but every time you're making a business plan or you're going into such platforms that require a business plan, they ask you what your target market is. So for me, defining that, and also the process of coming up with the logo and this sticker, that whole thing, so.
All right, and I see your candles are called Heavenly Glow, right? So is it important for someone to have a brand name, or neza tumia Heavenly Glow for a month and I feel, let me change it to something else. Ni change nite Kahugu, then kidogo I change it. Is it important for one to get a brand and stick with it?
Yes.
Why?
Consistency. Consistency is very key. Of course, when you're starting out, you'll be experimenting with a lot of names. But once you gather momentum, I would advise you just stick with the name that your customers have come to know and love, because it also affects the customer psychology. If one day you just come and you tell your mom, today I want to be a teacher. You start studying teaching. The next day, I want to be a doctor. You get it doesn't paint a good picture. It's the same thing even with your customers. Like, they are unable to see stability and even trust you with their money because you are
like you don't really know what you want.
It's not like, I want to be in this business, I don't want to. Imagine if you wake up one day and then your shopkeeper has started a chemist, the next day a hardware. You'll find someone else who sticks to being a shopkeeper. So it's the same thing. Consistency is key.
All right, so let's talk about the competition in this field. The field is now saturated. We have a lot of people who are doing the scented candles, different types, different shapes, and you're wondering, nitanunua wapi, nitawacha wapi? So you who you're venturing into this business, how do you maneuver? How do you make yours unique enough so that I'll rather buy from Heavenly Glow and not somewhere else?
I think it boils down to identity. Right. Again, me as a person, I am not going to try and do what Rachel is doing. You get? So there are people who relate to me as Liz, and that is what makes my product unique, because no one can do things the way I do them. No one thinks the way I think. So in as much as there's competition, there's always enough for everyone. The problem is that people think with competition, I cannot start because who will buy my product? The thing is, there are people who, like, your product addresses their specific need. So just stay true to yourself. Don't try to be like anyone else.
Stay true to yourself. And one question enye kila mtu in this field anaulizanga, can I just do this for business? Will it give me a profit immediately? Or pia hapa I have to have a lot of patience? At what point did it start giving you money? Because we say business is more than meets the eye. So when you start business, you want to get income, you want to get money. At what point ndio sasa uli realize scented candles are actually paying my bills and I can do some of the things with the money I get from this?
Well, like you said, it takes time. Because first of all, for you to recover the amount of money you put into it, you'll have sold quite a number. But that shouldn't discourage you. What I did and I still do, to make sure that you have consistency and you stay afloat, is reinvesting the money that I get. Like when I sell this candle, of course there's something I want to buy, but you think to yourself, I'm not yet at that point where I have that luxury to buy that. So until you start making profit, reinvest your money. For me, it was the first time I brought this one. Let me steal the secret for you guys. Yes, because with most people, it's easier to buy something in smaller portions than big, because you're thinking to yourself, in case it turns out to be bad, at least I won't have lost a lot of money. So the people will sample all of them, but in small quantities. Again, this is also making money, you get. So introducing this small version of it helped me even sell the big ones, because once they smell these ones, they also get to buy the big one. Yeah. So for me, it was when I introduced this one.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's better for you to start with smaller portions. It will help you sell what you eventually want to sell. Cynthia?
Yeah.
Wow. So that has been it for the scented candles with Liz in the Business Plus. Now you know, if you're venturing into this business, you know what you need to do for you to be a big business person. And again, you have to be patient. All right? Pia kama umesahau some of the things that you need to do, rudi pale kwa Business 101 and you will know exactly what you need to do to be a big business person in this industry. And also, business will be more than it will meet the eye. So we'll see you in the next episode. Remember, we have a repeat of the same on Friday at 7:30. You can talk to us on MBCI TV Facebook page, and let's all be in this conversation. See you next week. Bye.